So what should our icebreaker be?
Dude, I want to talk about the trailers and stuff that were released this morning.
Gotcha.
This morning.
There was more clips.
Wait, is it filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it filming? All right.
We're recording?
Jordan White mentioned you in their story. I don't even want to know what that is.
He was just taking a picture right now.
It's a good story. It's a good story for once. That's story. I'm not putting you on blast. But,
That's why I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Okay, what's up, everybody? I'm Jordan.
Oh, we're starting?
I guess we're starting.
I thought we were starting our banter. Yeah, we're talking.
Yeah, but we always have the icebreaker on while we're recording, though, right?
No, the icebreakers. No, icebreakers usually we start talking, and then in the mid after we stop that icebreaker moment, then we introduce.
Yeah, we just need to make sure we catch all of the icebreaker, not just like mid conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, should we start with the icebreaker?
Yeah.
Well, wait. Let's talk about the what's it called? The trailers and stuff that I saw this morning.
Yeah, sure.
Did you see the fight scene between the SWAT
And Venom?
Yeah.
I saw that last night on Instagram.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. You see
I'm
it?
left out.
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh, yeah. I saw it this morning. I was like, whoa, that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the animation that's going on there.
Yeah. The CGI is starting to look better and better.
Yeah.
And better.
And then Dark Phoenix.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see
for
that
Dark
one.
Phoenix.
Yeah, Dark.
This looks pretty good.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix. It has that X-Men tone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more calm and more like story driven than action.
Yeah.
It seemed that's what I got from the trailer. Is that what you got from the trailer too, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looked it looked pretty interesting. It looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the other day Transformers.
Yeah. Okay, I did see that.
Yeah, that one looks really good.
Dude, I mean
Cue Optimus Prime voice. Now.
Autobots transform and roll out. I don't know if that translated all right.
That's pretty good, though.
I think people will get that.
But yeah, dude, Shockwave, Soundwave, Ravage, Starscream, OG Optimus Prime. The only guy that doesn't look like the original is Bumblebee. Yeah.
Well, was Bumblebee even an original on the cartoon?
Yeah, he was. And he talked. And he had like the head of a sphinx with horns.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he had his head was a little like, I don't know, it had a little bit different shape to it than it does now. It's cooler now, but then before, he had like this weird, it looked more like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Giant Robot from Japan. It was a Japanese.
It was anime, right?
It's not anime, it was a live action.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was pretty.
That name is
the
name is familiar, but as far as like putting a picture to it,
yeah,
I don't have a concept.
It looked very like a lot of these old Japanese robots, like big monster robots, had this.
I should look it up. Since I have a computer on.
I think it was Giant Robot. It had this like Egyptian look. They had these helmets, kind of like Twiggy. Oh man, that's before your time. Huh?
You just keep showing your age on these podcasts, man.
Mike, I was born in '93, bro.
I know, man. I mean, and the Transformers were '80s. It's like that's what's killing me.
Oh, are you talking about this guy?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I'm talking about that.
Dated that is.
So look at G1 Bumblebee, and you'll see like
Bumblebee?
where it kind of came from.
All right. So for those of you who are listening, I'm about to type in G1 Bumblebee from Transformers just to see how vintage that this looks.
And how different it looks from
From
the
today,
new movies. Yeah.
Let's see.
So yeah, he has this like little cone head with horns.
Oh, I see him.
Right? So he has that weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
That's way different.
It's way different.
Yeah.
And I can see why they didn't do it.
Oh, very smart on their part.
But it's Bumblebee's the only one that really doesn't look like the original G1 or Generation 1 Transformers in this new movie.
Oh man.
I can't wait. I mean, that's what I felt Transformers should have been when it first came out.
Yeah.
But then I think about it, if it came out like that from the very beginning and it didn't look good, because whether CGI wasn't as good as what it is now or whatever, would I have liked it as much? I think I like it more since it started the way it did, and now we're going back to it.
Yeah, especially because it's such a CGI intensive movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the trailer, it almost looks like a cartoon more than a live action until you start seeing the human figures in there. But yeah, it's cool, man. I think it looks really.
It looks good. It looks really good. Yeah.
For some
I'm
reason,
excited.
both of those trailers have just been like tugging at my heartstrings, and I don't know why.
Which one?
For the Bumblebee movies.
Oh yeah.
Especially the first one. I think it has something to do with that music. I don't know. It just makes me feel.
Apparently, music's going to be
It's
a
a
big
feel.
part.
I mean, it comes across as a authentic, organic, feel good story.
Yeah.
Or a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I usually don't like that feeling, but in this case, I'm digging it.
But it still has the essence of
It's
what
your
the older.
sensitive side.
Yeah, that's how this.
I could be pretty sensitive at times.
Hey, it's okay. So can I.
So it does have like the essence of what like Michael Bay did. It doesn't have all the crazy explosions, but it does still have that those cool effects and the way they transform, and the running and tumbling and transforming at the same time. All that was still there, which is cool because I did like that. It kept the energy moving.
It's a refined feel.
Yeah.
But
it's cool, man, because you recognize the characters. That's what I like the most about it.
Hey, so in the Dark Phoenix trailer, so they didn't have to recast anybody.
I don't know. Did they? No, it was all the same from. Yeah.
But did
From
they
the
keep
young-
it as is? Because I thought that they had some of the reshoots or something like that.
They probably had reshoots, but the main cast is the same.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
plans for this one.
Okay, because like the deal, it went through, right? For Disney needs to
Yeah,
acquire
but I think
X-Men.
this was prior to it. I think there's
I
still.
believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
this whole thing is still before the Disney, whole business deal. So yeah, I think it's not that part of their. I don't think they have a part of it yet.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because as far as like the talent goes, I don't have a problem with like anybody in Fox as far as the actors go. In the X-Men films, I feel like
It's a good cast.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
really good
they're
cast.
all
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
amazing.
solid.
Yeah, well, Michael Fassbender is awesome, and like anything he does, that chick from the Game of Thrones, whatever her name is, who's playing Phoenix, I'm in love with her. But yeah, sorry. Well, nothing but good things to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, hello everybody. You have made it to the 9th episode of the Jadacast podcast. I am Jordan.
I'm Daryl.
Mike.
How's everybody doing today?
Good
Morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changing it up again.
Yeah.
Nice and energized. Got a monster right here. Been
How can you do
this
that in the
all
morning?
Man, I'm like a zombie, bro. I think I think that my spirit animal is like a turtle or a sloth or something, bro. I just naturally, and I'm super healthy, but I can fall asleep anywhere at any moment at any time.
Like
So-
standing up during a business meeting.
So for those of you who are listening, so we had a meeting the last week at our showroom. I won't say with who. And,
Pretty big
big deal.
Yeah,
Big deal. It was pretty important. And so something that we do at our showroom is that we'll show them everything that we're trying to exhibit, and it's a long walkthrough. Like the showroom, it's pretty big, and there's a lot of product. It's very cool to see. But me, I had only gotten maybe like 4 nights of sleep prior, and this tour it's taking about maybe like an hour. And about 45 minutes in, I'm in the very back, standing up, and I swear, I literally fell asleep while I was standing up. My knees buckled and everything, and I had to catch myself and make sure that nobody saw what happened.
He's damn lucky I didn't see him fall asleep. Otherwise, he would have got the death stare from me.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
I was in the very back. Nobody saw me. The people who we were showing around, they didn't see me, thank God, because, man, if I hadn't caught myself and I just fell down flat, that would have been a bad look. I mean, I could have said that I'm a narcoleptic or something like that.
Yeah, we could have
as
played
my
it off like
excuse.
that, but yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, so you guys
crazy.
hired
I would
people?
have loved to see that. I would love to see the squirm and how you're gonna try to get out of this one. Just laugh to myself like, oh, these guys.
You know what? If it actually happened, I think I would have played it off and like have pretended to still be asleep, just so I could wake up 10 minutes later and say like, oh, I'm narcoleptic.
Just straight up like pass out on the floor.
Straight up pass out. So yeah, so like that anger, it turns into worry and concern.
There's all kinds of crazy happening.
Yeah, that would have been bad. But yeah, but we're all good.
All good so far.
Yeah, but what I can't do is the carbonation. Like in the morning, if I drink something carbonated, forget I'll have heartburn.
Really?
It ruins my stomach.
And how about at a different point of day? Are you okay with carbonation?
after about noon,
Once your body starts to get going.
Once my body starts to get going, it's that's the only thing. I mean, this should be like a segment, huh? We should have like body talk. Like every episode, we're talking about something like either you guys are working out and whatever. Shoot.
Anatomy talk.
Anyways, we should get back to it.
Yeah, and that segment has to work.
Your brachialis. People are like, what's that?
It's where you rub the baby oil on for Rock's arm.
Exactly. Still trying to apply for that, by the way.
For those of you who saw last episode.
Was it the last one?
I think
two
it was two ago?
Yeah.
2 or 3 ago, actually.
Dude, we're on episode 9, but I feel like we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, it does. It's
9
crazy.
weeks going.
Well,
actually, time for a best of yet?
I'll try that.
Maybe when we get to 10.
Yeah, maybe.
And all of them is just going to be like Mike getting Jordan on like every single one.
I'm waiting for this one.
Like an earnema.
I got to put that in.
Make shirts. We'll make shirts.
We were talking about that the other day.
about the F. Brian shirts?
No, that too. But like just in general of all the little things, like the phrases that Mike gets you with, we just make t-shirts of like.
Well, Jada Toys merch coming soon, people.
Actually, I could start making them. I could have a little t-shirt maker.
You could. Yeah.
I could just make one-offs for every episode.
That would be funny.
Maybe.
Most of them have to be directed at that guy.
Brian, yeah.
Just something that Brian did.
Yeah, I want to do one that just says, "Damn it, Brian."
Scapegoat for everything.
It's great.
I love it. Yeah. Oh yeah. So before I forget, just a little bit of housekeeping. So for the Jadacast podcast to be successful, we need the help and support of all of you listeners. Well, Daryl is pointing at our GoPro camera.
No,
What's
the
up?
timer.
Oh, the timer?
Our timer went to sleep.
Timer went to sleep. What kind of timer goes to sleep?
Damn it,
Brian.
You see, that'll be our first shirt right there.
Cool.
Sorry.
So wait.
Oh.
So the
yeah.
sympathize for Brian doing his thing.
All right.
So yeah.
Is it gonna work this time? All right. So anyways, I forgot what So housekeeping. So if this podcast makes you laugh, if this podcast makes you cry, if you get any type of value out of this podcast at all, do us a favor, like it, subscribe it, show it to a friend. We'll leave us a review on iTunes. We're also on Spotify. We're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to grow this thing, and we cannot do it without the help and support of all of you. So yeah, so hook a brother up.
And thank you to the guys who have started from the beginning and are sticking with it. Yeah, we really appreciate that.
All the OGs.
Yeah.
Well, you're already an OG, and we've only been doing this for 9 weeks.
It's much appreciated. I think, of course, anytime we have an opportunity to kind of showcase a little bit about who we are and like some of the behind the scenes stuff for you guys to take a look at, I mean, really, it's just an additional form of content for everybody that's listening. And we really enjoy it. So we hope that you guys enjoy it too.
And speaking of OGs, Brian, so we were talking about a way to reward people who are listening to full episodes of our podcast. And so how was it again? I forgot.
Randomly insert giveaway.
Okay, so for those of you who can't hear Brian because he refuses to yell.
the microphone himself. We have the capability, but he still refuses to do it.
I would just make everything negative.
Damn it, Brian.
All right, so for those of you who actually listen to full episodes of our podcast, we're actually planning to do a giveaway of some of our diecast cars or figures as to where okay, how does it go again?
It's just, I think, just randomly at one point in the middle of the podcast, we don't know where. We'll just have a segment where we insert it, and we'll maybe talk about it. And if you
want to know what the contest is, you have to watch or listen to the podcast.
You have to watch or listen to the podcast, but then they have to send us an email, right?
Well, I guess the details would be in the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
so if we tell them too much now, I mean, it's.
I mean, we might not.
Podcast.
We might not do it for this podcast,
Yeah.
but
okay.
we I don't know, maybe the next one or the one after that,
Or it might be in this one. You never know.
It might be in this one, but I probably should have had something prepared. Well, y'all know how I roll.
We'll see. We'll see how we feel.
Yeah. So, all right. I think that I'll have it well mapped out by next podcast, but you will be rewarded for listening to entire episodes because you're keeping our lights on with that YouTube money.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
I haven't seen any of it.
not yet. Being hopeful.
Sorry.
Being hopeful. All right. So I think for a first fun question is what do certain classes of cars say about the personality of the person who is driving that car? For example, if you see a Lamborghini, but you're thinking like, okay, well, this guy, he's young, he's flashy, probably has a bunch of girlfriends, this and that. But if you see a guy in a Ferrari, but you're thinking like, oh, okay, he's a little bit older, refined, a little bit more classy and elegant, et cetera, et cetera. So when you guys see certain classes of cars and then a certain type of driver who's driving them, what goes on in your mind? And it doesn't have to be presumptuous, but it could be kind of fun and humorous.
So the only one I really have that I can say is that whenever I see one of these cars, I kind of think who the owner is, and I think of their wardrobe, and it's pretty consistent, at least out here in California. It's a Corvette driver.
I knew this was going to have to come up. Corvette was definitely going to have to come up to
Corvette drivers. I mean, I've been to countless car shows where there's Corvette groups that show up. I know a lot of Corvette owners, and every single one of them will drive around in their Corvette with a Hawaiian print shirt. I'm not saying everyone, maybe about 99.9% of them, but no, it's
pretty accurate.
It's funny because
there's a uniform for a Corvette driver,
much. And I was talking to a guy. I didn't know he was a Corvette owner. He was wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and then when he pulled out his keys because we sat down for dinner, there was a Corvette key on his keychain on his thing.
What do you know?
Like, wow! I didn't even see the card. I just saw his wardrobe, what he was wearing. So I don't know. That's my thing. That's
that is definitely 99.9% true. I also feel like with the Corvette, the person who's attracted to at least the newer Corvettes, it kind of feels like okay, I'm about in my 50s. I'm about to I'm about to cash in on the 401k.
Yeah.
But I'm also going through a midlife crisis, and I want to feel young again.
The midlife crisis car, I think.
It's definitely the midlife crisis car. And for that very reason, I feel like it doesn't communicate that you're a real car guy, if you know what I mean. I mean, if you have a classic Corvette, okay, well then you're definitely a car guy. But something about these new Corvettes, I like them. They're visually appealing. They're monstrous. But something about them is just like, it's kind of like, are you really a car guy, or are you just having a midlife crisis?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I mean, you can say that with like the Ferraris too. Like, if you have the money, you don't know what to do with that money, and you want something to satisfy that midlife crisis, and you can get the Ferrari.
That's a good way to satisfy a midlife crisis, by the way.
I mean, that's probably where I would trying go. To do. I would, like, if I was older, 50s, 60s, and going through that, I don't think the Lamborghini. I would think the Lamborghini seems a little too young.
Seems a little way too out there, right?
Yeah. But then you go with a Ferrari. I think it's like it has that more refined feel. So that could be like the higher end of the midlife crisis.
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
I go after Prius drivers. Here's my thing. Okay, when I mean, for one, Prius drivers, I'm sorry, upset me. They really upset me. And my thing is this, okay? For you to buy a Prius or just a hybrid in general, if it's not geared more towards like hypercar status or whatnot, because these cars are now hybrid power, right? I'm talking like your Chevy Volt, your Prius, like, yeah. I would think that the certain makeup of a person that goes after those kinds of cars are naturally conservative to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of just live life and go about it like very nonchalant, like drive or passion to go after something. It's not really there. That's just my perception of them. Therefore, like, your personality matches the way you drive, I feel. Oh. And so when I see Priuses that are just driving hella slow in the fast lane or something, that's a representation to me of your personality and how you kind of go about life.
What do you think is the reason why they buy it? Is it because they're conscious of the environment, or just to get in that carpool lane with that HOV sticker?
I'm sure like that carpool thing plays a part of it, but I think it goes back to like the conservative part of them, and I guess it's like, yeah,
I think it's all carpool.
Really?
Especially out here.
I think it's because they're
okay,
smug.
I could see.
And they like the smell of their own farts.
Because
South Park.
I think this is, a lot of these Prius drivers for some reason always want to get into the fast lane and not drive
not go
faster. Like, it's the left lane is typically the passing lane, right?
Yeah.
Where you go to pass another car, so you typically would go a little bit faster than the flow of traffic. Not necessarily true with these guys, because they want to get to the left lane. Now, if there's a carpool lane there, or HOV lane, I don't know when it turned to HOV. I'm confused about that. All of a sudden, I woke up and every carpool lane was turned to HOV.
I was scared to drive in the HOV. I thought I would be getting a ticket if it was like a fast track or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was kind of confused too. But once they get, I've seen Prius drivers go from the on-ramp straight to the HOV lane, like in cutting everyone off all the way through just so they can get there as fast as they can.
Good luck,
and then
everybody.
Start driving slow. I mean... it's crazy. I think it's mostly because they want, especially with the traffic out here in LA, they want to get in that lane because they get that sticker and they have that privilege.
Fine. I mean, I don't blame them for that. I still stand by my thing of like your personality and things like that. Because, dude, if you're driving 25 in a 40, I'm sorry, you kind of go about your life a little slow.
There's also that thing though, like the car is recharging when you brake. Yeah. So when you press the brakes on your instrument panel, it shows you that the car is start charging. So it feels like you got to be braking so you can save more gas.
That's horrible.
So that's why it's kind of breeding these weird drivers, because they want to save as much gas. So they hit their brakes and you see the meter going up and saying that they're saving gas or whatever.
That's an abomination. Have you ever seen that new electric car? It just has one pedal.
No,
it's like, I think it's a Chevy or something, but it's this new electric car. It looks like it looks kind of like a pea, a green, like the vegetable. Yeah. It just looks like a pea. It's pathetic, but it has one pedal for gas and braking. Really? I think they're like pressing down on it. It's just gas,
and then when you let go, it starts to brake.
It starts to brake, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Neither do I. What if you have to brake hard? Like, what if something jumps in front of you?
I don't know how it works, man, but it's just one pedal.
Unless it's all sensors.
Yeah, here, let me look it up.
That's crazy.
One pedal electric
sensors, though. I mean, what do you feel about sensors on cars? Like the self-driving with the sensors?
I don't like it.
No. You don't?
Yeah, because in our Escalade, if you're trying to park, but you get too close to something, it just locks the car immediately.
Well,
and you feel that jolt.
It scares me. It's sensitive.
Yeah, but then you start thinking about like map sensors and O2 sensors inside the car. They go bad. What makes it like these a lot better?
Nissan Leaf.
Oh,
this thing.
Mm-hmm.
One pedal apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
About that.
Yeah, but the sensors you were saying?
Yeah, so like if the sensors go bad, I know that a map sensor and an O2 sensors, because they're picking up like soot and stuff that's in the air. Mm-hmm. But they go bad. Things happen to these, and it's electronics. Electronics go bad.
Yeah.
They don't go bad, but then like things happen to them.
They're sensitive.
Yeah. I mean, how much can you rely on them? Really?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Give me a good old fashioned V8 gas guzzler, spitting all kinds of carbon monoxide into the air, taking years off of the planet's life. That's all I need.
Certain sensors are fine, I think, when you're talking about around the vehicle for like safety features, but when you're talking about sensors for like self-driving,
autonomous driving,
I'm not about that. No.
Yeah, I don't like the autonomous driving. I'm not.
I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like some iRobot stuff.
Yeah, trying to replace me. That ain't gonna happen.
I mean, if you want to get driven somewhere, take public transportation. You know.
Yeah. Well, why do you want to do all this other stuff while you're driving? You know, like sleep and and homework and knitting or whatever.
I mean, it depends. I mean, if it's a long drive, if your commute,
road trip,
yeah.
That's what the Jadacast podcast is for.
Yeah, exactly.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, dude, yeah. That's where I listen to my podcast, is all in the car. Mostly in the car.
Yeah, same here.
So another type of driver, the Honda Civic drivers, especially those ones who mod the hell out of their cars and it still sounds like a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Those guys, I'm thinking, okay, he's probably in high school.
Yeah.
Probably tries to race Ferraris and Lamborghinis, but he only has 200 horsepower. Stay out of my way. That's sorry.
Picking a fight with everybody.
Yeah, this guy.
Mustang drivers. I'm staying out of their way because I don't want to get crowd killed by them. Yeah, but Mustang driver, well, me and you talked about this one a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that Mustangs are dope and all, but it kind of feels
You're
like...
still in the market for one, right?
No, I'm not in the market for a Mustang.
I thought you said that.
Yeah, you mentioned it a little while ago.
So my mom knows that I kind of like them.
Oh, okay.
And so she had sent me some listings, but they were of the 4-cylinder and V6 ones, which is just
yeah.
But see, I have times as to where I kind of crack under pressure, and I'm like, all right, screw this, I'm about to go and buy a Mustang. I mean, because I could go and buy a 2016 or 2017 Mustang now, instead of having to wait up and save up to buy
what you really want,
Q60.
Yeah.
But I would be betraying who I really am, because if you see me in a Mustang, it doesn't really go with me. If you know my personality, my style, everything like that, it doesn't really go with me.
Right.
So like it would kind of be my cheap way of copping out in a way.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I definitely think that they're a dope car. But
Yeah.
they don't go with a guy like me, But they go with that sort of.
Be careful. You don't want to.
I don't want to piss off all the Mustang drivers, and they just come speeding through the wall in Jada, crashing out of control.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, I dig Mustangs. And Daryl and I were talking about this, about Mustangs and Challengers,
Just muscle cars in general.
Yeah,
like these.
and they're. I mean, we like the style. They're looking good. They look. I mean, if whether or not you like the modern look of the muscle car with the Camaro and the Mustang, or you like that more classic modern with the Challenger.
Yeah.
And there's so much to choose from now. I think it's awesome. I like the way the American muscle car genre is going these days.
Yeah,
I love it
for sure.
And the crossover from where you see a lot of like the Japanese style going into the American style.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I mean, it's really cool to see that.
So what is your favorite example of that you've seen so far?
Oh man, the first example is John Sabal's Challenger. When he had that black Challenger with the Volk racing wheels. I think that was one of the groundbreaking times that the American car culture recognized that that style is a legitimate style to go after if for the show circuits, for the race circuits, for drifting. I mean, drifting also is kind of a big pioneer that helped do that crossover.
Yes.
It was aired out too.
Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, it looked cool. It's something that most muscle car guys wouldn't do, but it was embraced by like a lot of them. Everyone was like, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that was a cool, groundbreaking, barrier breaking vehicle, I think, in the history of muscle car and car culture in general.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
It's a shout out to John Sabal, by the way.
Yeah.
Like always. He should bring it down.
Yeah.
And we should have a podcast together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might be able to get him in here at some point.
Okay, so what about you, Daryl?
What about me?
That same thing I asked Mike.
I don't know. I think, I mean, I've always been a fan of, and I've talked about it a few times too, you know, on the podcast in terms of like the crossover between the two. Like, I mean, shoot, I drive an American truck. Mike and I were talking yesterday of how like I have like this desire to just put like TE37s on my truck if I could find it, you know. You see, like that's just, but that's personally what I would do because I love JDM. I love the JDM culture to begin with, and if I can infuse the two, I think that look is just hot because you don't see it on trucks all that much to begin with, right? So for me, that's a no brainer. If I had an American muscle car, Camaro, Challenger, Mustang, whatever, no question, I would be looking to insert a little bit of that JDM part of me to that car. But that's also because kind of what we were talking about earlier. It's also part of my personality, right? So I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the Japanese side, who is it? Pandem that made that body kit for the Nissan 240 SX.
Probably.
I think, and that looked like a Challenger front end.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Or it kind of resembled.
It might be.
Yeah,
that one. Okay, yeah.
This is pretty sick.
That's crazy.
Well,
so
this says it's a Rocket Bunny though.
Okay, Rocket Bunny and Pandem, or yeah, same. But yeah, so like that's,
why you gotta embarrass me for?
So I don't know if that's taken directly from the style of the Challenger or if it's just from the old school Japanese, like, little race cars like the Celicas and the RX-3s and stuff like that. But to me, when I first saw it, I was like, that looks very American muscle.
Yeah, it's pretty monstrous, man.
Yeah.
From another angle, yeah. I dig it.
So is it a 240 S14?
Yeah. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it seems like both cultures are taking cues from each other, and that crossover is happening, and it's cool. I think it's a really good way to help promote the industry so that it's not just segmented.
Yeah, for sure.
Bridge that gap, people.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, World War II ended already.
Yeah.
We could all be friends now,
Right.
So who would you say from like each group is the most fiercest in the loyalty? The JDM or like American Muscle? Who would you guys say has like the most loyal, diehard fan base?
I have to. My personal answer is the American fan base.
Yeah,
the American muscle car fan base.
Why so?
I feel like because for the longest time, it's always been about like the horsepower. It's been about the engine, the big block motors, and all that stuff, right? And so I feel they get like very, very passionate about it. So if you were to talk to like a Dodge guy versus a Chevy or a Ford guy, they like defend that honor with like a lot of passion, but when you're talking to JDM fanboys, you're like, Nissan's dope because they have the GTR, Mazda's dope because they have the RX-7, Toyota's dope because they have the Supra. It's not like it's GTR or nothing, dude. Like those other ones suck. Like
I think you're right.
So that's my perception.
No, I think that's actually that's a really good. I think you're exactly right. With these Dodge guys, they're hardcore Dodge Mopar guys. They don't. That's all they're about.
Mopar or no car.
Exactly. I mean, they are loyal to their brand for sure. Whereas in the Japanese side, I think they're more loyal just to the Japanese car industry because I think it's. That's exactly what Daryl said.
And if you take a look at it, there's been a pony car war within these three companies, Dodge, Chevy, Ford themselves, right?
Yeah.
But like in the Japanese world, not so much. I don't think.
Yeah,
It's not like directed towards each other. You know.
I think a lot of the times was I'm not sure if this is correct. I'm not a historian on Japanese car racing, but a lot of it was the Japanese trying to chase after the American car races and do something similar or compete with them, and that's where we got a lot of the vehicles. And if you look at some of the cars that they have done in the past, they look very similar to American cars. Like I think the Celica and the Ford, the old Opals and all these other cars, they all kind of look the same because they're all trying to compete in those same races. And so it seems like Japan has always been the one trying to not copy or catch up, but like they're taking the cues and doing their thing and trying to mimic what's happening in the U.S. I could be wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not really that versed in that kind of in that history, but yeah, that's what I was when I was reading about it. I think that's the kind of thing I was getting from it. Like if you look the 2000 GT, I think that race car was built to compete against like some of the other. I'm trying to think of what the American versions of those cars were, I was trying to compete with the European, like the Jaguars and stuff like that. So you can see the similarities, like the DNA is almost there.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, but if we're on this topic of cars, the biggest event in the automotive industry is only a month away.
Oh my
and
jeez. I know.
Yeah, it's about to get real.
I get anxiety just thinking about it.
And what is giving him anxiety is SEMA, which will be taking place in Las Vegas, and we will actually be there because we're there every single year because we're cool like that. So could you guys explain to like everyone out there, why is SEMA such an important event to us and the industry as a whole?
We view SEMA internally as just a big PR push for us. I think just from the standpoint of continued exposure to further cement ourselves into the industry, keep up with the relationships that we currently have with partners, and also make form new relationships. So that's kind of how we see it internally. I think as far as why it's important to us, in addition to everything that I just kind of mapped out, personally speaking, it's the biggest automotive aftermarket show that goes on year round, at least in the States, right? So as a car enthusiast, that's automotive like heaven. All the biggest companies are there. They bring out all the coolest car builds. It's all there. It's impossible to cover that show in a full day. Yeah. I don't care how ambitious you are, you're not going to do it. I've tried. You can't do it.
As big as Jada is, even though we're in this industry, deep in this car culture, in the aftermarket industry, we're not a household name in that industry. Right. So there's still companies out there that don't know who we are or what we do. So we're out there making connections, getting people to know us, because that's where all that the industry that we play in is. They're there. So we want to make sure that our presence is felt there. So that's why we attend. That's one of the reasons why we attend, because we want to make these relationships with all these aftermarket companies, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
As in the car department, at least.
Yeah.
So and then on the business end, we want to make these relationships just in case we want to become partners with some of these people.
Yes.
There's a lot of companies out there that are getting popular, that are starting to grow, and that are building really cool cars. And if we're there, we can meet with them, make a deal, say, hey, let's let us build your car in diecast form. Maybe something will happen, and then a new line will come up. That's how new products are created. And that's what we do there at SEMA as well.
Yeah. And to further elaborate on the point of it being more of a PR push for us, multiple media outlets are out there. All the biggest editors in car culture, I think, that cover anything from aftermarket to stock and things like that. They're all out there. So that's also another opportunity for us to align ourselves with publications or, stations like that.
TV shows.
Yeah. Should we see an opportunity to do so? So that's another angle for us. But just in general, like like I said, it's the biggest aftermarket automotive show. It occupies all 3 halls of the Las Vegas Convention Center. It's a week-long show, and you're out in Las Vegas with good food and cool people and cool cars.
Cool cars.
So more importantly, so it's work, but it's also a good time. Definitely something that we have fun with. Mm-hmm. And every year we kind of talk about how we can continue to push the envelope a little bit further from a PR standpoint. And so for this year, we actually have something pretty cool in mind. We're still working on finalizing, so we can't really speak to just yet. Mm-hmm. But stay tuned because it's pretty awesome.
One of the other things that we do, because it's the biggest aftermarket show in the world, I would say, right?
Yeah, sure.
What we do there also is look at the builds, all the cars that have been built just for the show. It shows the most innovative vehicles, the most new styles, the trends that are happening, and we get to look at and see, what we can adapt, you take from there and put into our toys, because there's things are evolving quickly. And what's also interesting though is when we started Big Time Muscle, for example, we put these big old rims, really thin tires. People were clowning us, they're like, man, that's not realistic. Who's going to put those? What are those in real life? Going to be like 25-inch rims? Now you go out to SEMA today, you see exactly those type of styles. That's what people are doing now. It's trippy because it's like, sometimes we do things and, we do things that we think will look cool. We labeled it the Jada style. It's what we want to see in a car. It's not necessarily what's out there. Sometimes we do what's out there. Sometimes we do our own body kits, and sometimes we do crazy modifications where may not seem realistic at the time, but now they're doing it, and then it's kind of flattering. Mm-hmm. Maybe they didn't get it directly from us, because everything that you see when you create something is bits and pieces of other things you've seen, but I think just the fact that now that style, it kind of just justifies that our look was something cool.
Amen.
It's crazy. I mean, shoot, like how like some of the deep dish rims that we had on our 24 scale diecast, if in real life they would be like about 12 inches deep or more.
Yeah.
And people were like, that's ridiculous. Now we're seeing like 12, 24, like really deep dish rims on the back of some of these muscle cars.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome.
It does.
It looks crazy.
Yeah.
And those same people who was talking all that are probably going out and buying our stuff too. I bet.
We would hope so.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a fun show. Your first time?
It'll be my very first time at SEMA.
Yeah.
It'll actually be my first time in Las Vegas since I was like maybe 10 years old.
Really?
So yeah, I haven't been.
We'll make sure to put you up in Circus.
What happened in Circus? Oh wait, is that one where you told me a hooker was getting murdered or something?
Yeah. Oh, it was. I was in a room at Circus. I was the only one in the Circus room, and it wasn't in the hotel, the high rise. It was in these bungalows that were like across the street.
A bungalow just sounds bad.
The carpet was coming up and everything, and my neighbors in the hotel, I just heard like at 3 o'clock in the morning, don't go to sleep. They say you shouldn't sleep. Stay up as much as you can. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I hear someone walking in the hallway. It's like, I can't believe I almost got shot. I'm like, what's going on here? What is this place? I'm like curled up in my blanket. I'm like, ooh, shivering. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. But it was fun. I mean, it was an experience.
Are you going to finish the story?
I had what? Am I going to go over next door and say, "You guys all right?" No, I'm not messing with that.
But just the fact that you hear somebody through the opposite wall saying, "Don't sleep,
don't sleep, don't sleep," and they were screaming at the top of their lungs. I'm like, and the walls were thin. It's you can hear maybe 3 rooms down. That's how thin these walls were. It was crazy.
That's rough.
It was rough. I mean, Yeah,
I believe Mike was like the only one at Circus too, right?
Yeah, I was the only one.
I don't
Were
even.
you on punishment or something?
I had no idea.
I don't even know. I don't know what happened that year, but I think the rest of us were put up at like Palace Station or something.
Yeah, you guys didn't have much better, but yeah, I was in this one room. But yeah, it was crazy.
We're good this year, though.
Yeah, this year we're good.
I made sure of that. Yeah.
Don't let them know where we're staying.
Oh no worries, we're not. But we're good this year. It's definitely not Circus.
Is it still like that?
I think so. Ryan, you're the one that frequents Vegas more than us.
Circus hasn't changed much.
Yeah, I don't think they tore down those things, but it's still there. Those little bungalows. It's like a 3-story building, like, and there's multiple buildings. They look like apartments.
So it's kind of like, the affordable
I don't know.
destination of hotels once you go to
me,
Las
it feels like
Vegas.
that was just the overflow. Like once they fill the hotel, which is actually not a bad hotel, they put you out there. Because we did book late. We tend to mess around and book late.
We always just we're just looking for a challenge, really.
Yeah.
So that's what procrastination means to you.
Yeah.
I work better under pressure. That's what I say. Hey man,
it's a month out.
if it's never bit me in the I'm not gonna curse on this,
we're a month
but
out and we already have our accommodations, so we're good.
oh yeah, we prepared this year. Yeah.
Hey man, I'm just a passenger. I'm gonna just see what happens while I'm there.
How long are you staying out?
We're the same.
However
time
long
as
that.
you.
No, I'm saying 9 days.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No, we're there like a day after you guys get there, and then I think to like Wednesday or Thursday or something like that.
Yeah. It's fun. I'm not looking forward to staying 9 days, but I got to.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Yeah,
Vegas for 9 days, dude.
That's too long. But hey, good food.
Yeah,
enjoy it.
I have family out there. I can go visit them. It's not too bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, do you plan to dress up for Halloween? Since we'll be there over Halloween.
2 times we've been out there. The past 3 years, and it went over Halloween, right?
No, not recently.
No.
Mm-mm.
I thought the last time we went out there was Halloween, and we went to Gordon Ramsay's fish.
Was
and
that?
chips.
Dude, that was the year something happened with the schedule and you guys all left and I was there by myself.
And that was like your birthday.
Yeah, dude. Whoever put that list together like messed up hard. I was there by myself. I had to get there at like 8 a.m. I was chilling at the booth. Hey guys, how you doing? It's just me today.
Oh man, that sounds sad.
It was pretty sad.
Yeah, but Brian has it under control this year, right?
Right.
I saw the schedule. I think we should be good.
All right. If I hear anything bad in my hotel room, I'm gonna blame it on Brian.
You got a hotel room? We got a party pad. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Why are you throwing me under the bus like that, Mike? He wasn't supposed to know.
So it's called the party pad. Right?
I don't know. I can't say anything.
No. Okay. I don't know what's going on. But yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds fun. Well, I don't have anything left, and I feel like that's a good way to end today's episode. Well, y'all got anything else?
We got red vines in the room that I've been eyeing this entire podcast. That was pretty
super
good.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do your red vine straw thing?
No. You said it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird, but
I said it was weird. Just
Damn it,
drink
Brian.
coffee out of
well,
out of a red vine.
Well, do it for the fans.
Okay. All right.
do it
This
for
is
the
for
fans.
everybody that watches the YouTube videos.
He is about to get a red vine and put it in his water, which is being served out of a coffee cup for whatever reason.
It's water. It's not coffee.
Yeah, and he will use it as a straw,
Yeah, you just bite the two ends. It's your straw.
which is a horrible flavor of water.
You don't even taste it.
You don't taste it?
No.
Is
Is that weird?
maybe your taste buds are dead.
I don't think so. I just had In-N-Out yesterday. That was like the greatest thing ever. So.
Oh, that'll awaken anyone's taste buds.
Oh,
Yeah.
so there you go.
All right.
That was interesting.
That's how we
Red
sign.
vines.
That's how we sign out from now on.
Hey,
All right, everybody. So be sure to like and subscribe. Follow this podcast. You could find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and YouTube. And that's all I got for today. So I will see you next week. I'm Jordan.
I'm Daryl.
Mike.
And peace out, guys.